We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung kính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát từ ly khổ đạt lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Namo Sadanto Suchedo Ye La Hudi Samyao San Puto Xie. Namo Tatakta Toya Daya La De Tamil Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jian an zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingliang, Great Master Xinhua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors, Amitabha. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Thiện Hóa, quý thầy cô và các vị thiện sư thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 5th of February 2023. Thank you all very much for coming to join our discussion of the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. It's good to be here with you. As we get here together, it's the second day now. We have our young W1 who's joining us. And yesterday he came back and joined our chant class. And during the whole sit, he was making strange noises, as if he's having a lot of fun. Which told me that he has been meditating for quite a while. That's why his chi is all messed up. And sitting together with us yesterday actually helped his chi, correct his chi, and that's a good thing. So now he's here again in a lecture, and before I even got started, he's also making worse strange noises. Actually, it's a little bit better than yesterday. The chi is a little bit better than yesterday for him. And so, the reason I bring it up is to tell you, this morning I criticized, I taught my disciples during the Dharma talk. I said that when we do ceremonies, is in order to help you enter samadhi. Okay? We're very, very specific. Very, very very determined to do those things in order to help teach you, to help train you. And so during ceremonies, we enter samadhi and we conduct the ceremony so that we can help you enter samadhi. You see? And that's what we do to assist you in your spiritual practice. So it's little by little, gradually, that when you attend ceremonies actually helps you, okay? Or you help us, we don't know which is which, okay? Sometimes. And so, and also today, the mere fact that young W1 is making strange noises, that is again evidence that he's actually being helped by listening to sutra lectures. There's listening because when we lecture, and this is what I want to share with all my disciples as well, when we lecture, we're supposed to enter samadhi so that we can be at our best. So that's why samadhi is what we try to hone, try to nurture, try to enhance, because it makes a difference. You see? And so that's why even when you're not practicing and you're listening to sutra lectures, it's actually very helpful for you. It's equivalent to also sitting or meditating. Okay, isn't that cool? But thank you, young W1. See, now he has a W. Yesterday we came up with why we call him W1? Because he's a weak one. Mommy and daddy babies him. So he's the youngest. Are you the youngest? Not even the youngest yet. They baby you already. So we call him a weak one. And now today he wears a W. How appropriate. Okay, so what we're doing is, again, the lectures is not something that you try to understand. You just, this is very Mahayana. You go, you listen to the words, it goes one ear and goes out the other. It doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what you understand, it doesn't matter what you know. All you do is listen so that it goes through. And then whatever remains is your own wisdom that will retain it naturally. You don't have to do anything. And this is unlike my Chinese master. He says, when you learn something, memorize, review it, memorize, review it, memorize it. It's for schoolwork. It's for you when you're trying to get a good grade. There's no grading here. There's no quiz here. Okay? So all you do is listen. And goes out, goes in, goes out. And your Buddha nature, your own inherent wisdom will still has it, okay? And one day it will. That's what we call seeds. And one day the seeds will sprout under the right circumstances. So that's why it's very much cultivation, very much like farming, where you plant the seeds. And then eventually, when there's enough water, enough air, and fertilizer, and so forth, it will sprout naturally. You don't have to do anything. Okay? So this is very important. The listening to the Dharma is very important. And more importantly, just listen. Don't try so hard. Don't try to understand too much. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Okay? And it doesn't matter, you don't understand or understand. If it bothers you, ask. This is where we are. You are welcome to ask questions about anything that you don't understand, because it's for everyone, okay? Nowadays, I'm very proud to tell you that our audiences, our assembly has such a wide range, from very beginners to very, very advanced, okay? This is a state of American Mahayana right now. And it's thanks to all to you. The last 16 years, we've been doing this quietly, and you've been quietly making progress. Even like Brady there, the young man there, white hair, he first started saying, I like to meditate. And he liked it so much he would come regularly, huh? And then one day I said, "What's the matter with you? How come you're not improving?" He says, "I'm happy with myself. Why I need to improve?" Remember that? I said, when you improve, okay, you stopping yourself, but you say, "I have enough." See the problem? You stopping yourself. This is a problem you have. You think too much. You're such a small thinker. You are common. You say, "What do I get out of this? What, is this a good use of my time? Will this help me get super lotto? Or will I get, a promotion?" No. What you're doing, you plant the seeds for wisdom. And don't stop yourself. Let it happen. And so I told Brady, I said, you should stop stopping yourself like that. Okay? All you have to do is say, "I want to improve." And now he's been improving steadily. Isn't that cool? Okay. So this is what, he's not even here. Oh God. Speaking of gratitude, I'm trying to teach him. I say he walked away and said, and this is how it is with us the last 16 years, okay? Yeah. We're in there, last December she's nearly dying, and so she got better now. And guess what? She got better, says, "I don't need to come to the temple anymore. Thanks." Okay, this is the nature of our relationships. Come when you can, and just when you come, just relax. Okay, if you want to ask questions, ask questions. Anything goes. All right. All right. Now, this Avatamsaka Sutra here is the best Buddhist wisdom there is. Okay, very profound. And is it for you? Definitely. It doesn't matter what level, you will be able to absorb to your natural absorption rate. Okay? And what have we been learning? We've been learning so far the fact when the Buddha spoke this sutra, which is like prized by the entire universe, by the depth is wisdom, the kind of insights you're going to get from this, you develop from this, is just inconceivable. And it's going to happen naturally again. I want to stress that. And what happened is because the people in the know, they really value this sutra and the chance to listen to it. And that's why these people who are the who's who in the universe, they call this first chapter is the world rulers of the world. Okay, meaning that this is the first time I imagine for many of you that there's such a concept as rulers of the world. We talk about presidents or secretary of the Communist Party, whatever. Okay, you think those are big shots? No. They're smaller. Those beings are smaller than God, for example. And God is like, is not even allowed to be among the retinues of these world rulers. Because when these world rulers, wherever they go, they have the entire revenues of Navy and Air Force and Marines and Army to protect them, okay, and so forth. So they have the humongous retinues that surround them. And they come to attend these sutra lectures by the Buddha. So this first chapter here is an introduction for you to hear about, wow, world ruler? Really? Is there such a thing? And these are these big shots that govern over portions of the universe. And you find out the infinite universe is so infinite. There's so many of these big shots. Okay? So this, right there, When you listen to that, you should say that your mind needs to be enlarged a little bit. It's more than just what you can imagine, what you can understand. Okay? Again, like the young man there up here in front, don't stop yourself and say, "Oh, I don't believe it. This doesn't make sense. If I don't see it, I don't believe it." Okay? It's not like that. If you stop yourself like that, you will not be able to realize your maximum potential, or be who you can be. A Marine. Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. My question is not related to avatamsaka sutra, but my personal question.
Yes.
Before, I didn't actually believe the lyrics, but right now I really believe the lyrics. So I have some lyrics who the Master Old Monk gave to me. So I want to share this lyrics to my family. So is that okay? I can share the lyrics to my family.
Release?
Relics, sorry.
Oh, relics.
Yeah.
To your family?
Yeah. My daddy, my father, and my brother, they are Buddhist. So I think is that okay, or I don't know. They believe the lyrics or not, but they are Buddhist. So.
Well, I think it should be okay as long as you feel that they're not gonna like slander it or abuse the relics, because when they do that, they committing serious offenses. So that's why you have to be careful. Okay, sometimes it's best not to share if there is a potential where they will be disrespectful. Okay, but if, on the other hand, if you share it and they say, "Wow, these relics, it's just not you, but also many people experience great things from it," and they believe it, actually it helps them. So there's a pros and cons. It's a two-edged sword, if you will. So you have to be careful. Use your judgment. Either way, I wouldn't worry. You feel like you should share. You like to share with your parents? Go ahead. Okay? If they slander it, then come to me and say, help my parents. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. So the first section we hear about these world rulers, they rule over, a section of our world, and then our world is a tiny, tiny grain of sand in the universe, believe it or not. Our galaxy is a tiny, tiny piece of the universe. And so these world rulers rule over vast sections of the universe, if you will. They're really, really big shots. Okay? How come you never heard of them? It's like if you are a child, why would you be taught about, the President of the United States? Okay, so same thing here. So now we have these world rulers, and now next we're learning about how they got there. What did they do to attain those positions? Okay, so you see right there, the sutra kind of gives you a glimpse of these big shots and how they made it. Okay, and this is will help you open up your mind. Okay, to the world, the realm of the inconceivable. Okay, free yourself from your own thinking mind, which is tunnel vision, if you will. Okay, yeah. All right. Slide 45. Celestial king, brilliance derived from wholesome reflection, gain a passage into liberation of pondering all existence by proficiently entering infinite realms without creating any karmas.
善思为光明天王，得善入无边境界，不起一切诸有思维业解脱门。
Okay, so for some of you are new here today, so commentary 46, number 46, this king here, this king meaning they're rulers of the heavenly beings, the gods up there and goddesses up there, and this is called celestial king, brilliant derived from wholesome reflection. Okay, so just like everything else, you have a title that reflects your strength. For example, you are President of the United States, meaning that your strength is that you have the resources of United States. Okay? That's why you are respected, because of that power that you hold. Okay? And he says this king here is he's known as emitting brilliance, light. He emits tremendous brightness. And the brightness that he emits comes from wholesome reflection. Wholesome reflection means that when he meditates, he contemplates goodness. He doesn't think of evil things, doesn't plan to hurt people, doesn't plan to cheat people, doesn't plan to steal from people. Instead, he reflects on how he can be a better person, how he can help others, how he can give. Does it make sense? How he can build, how he can contribute. Okay? All those wholesome, all the good thoughts that he thinks about. Okay? So the mind doesn't dwell, his mind doesn't dwell on negative things, on evil things, on bad things. Is it clear? Gain a passage into liberation, meaning that he became enlightened. You see, these are big shots. These are superior beings who are enlightened. Okay, this is a measure of status. All these are big shots because they have great wisdom. Not just enlightenment, but they have great wisdom. So enlightenment, for your reference, enlightenment has many, many levels. For example, recently I certified that 4 of our followers are enlightened. Their enlightenment meaning is the lowest level enlightenment, meaning very, very low. Okay? But if they continue to improve, their level of enlightenment, therefore their wisdom, therefore their skill set, okay, and their strength, and their happiness, and their contributions to society will be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. This is why in Buddhism we're very precise. We talk about enlightenment, we say, oh, you are this level and that level and that level and that level. Because this is to help you confirm your limitations. Don't rest on your laurels. Just because you reach a pretty good level, you still have a lot of work left to do. Okay? So that's a passage into liberation. So liberation here means that all these beings, they are free from, they are liberated from all sufferings. They no longer suffer. You ask, for example, Yin there and say, are you free? Have you been liberated? He says, no, I'm sick. I'm very sick. I'm very unhappy. You know, I'm hoping that my two boys would become monks, but they're nowhere near close to becoming monks. So she's not liberated from her own two boys. And he said, I don't want to be liberated. I love my boys. And they love you, yes, true. But you love that's why you're still not liberated. And so this celestial king, brilliance derived from wholesome reflection, became enlightened. He's liberated from all sufferings. Okay, no matter what happens, he no longer suffers. These simple statements are very, very indicative of their levels of attainment. The four people I claim that they are enlightened, they are still not free from, still have a lot of suffering themselves. But these beings, they are liberated. How? By pondering all existence, by proficiently entering infinite realms without creating karma. Okay, don't try to don't be taken aback by these big words. Here's what happens. What's creating karma? What does create karma mean? I break it down for you. Why is it important? What is? Yeah, he's a little bit crazy. It's okay. Usually in the other temples, we kind of chase him out and say, no, you're scaring others. Here, we let him be. we joke about it. Huh? We call him W1. Nothing bothers us. We're free from his suffering. Okay? So anyway, and this is nothing yet. When I first started Lu Mountain Temple, I remember her name, Mireya. She would meditate for half an hour, and I just started crying her heart out for the whole hour, the rest of the hour. And she cried and cried and cried. And I remember, I think, was Xian Shun, who's no longer here among us. What happened to Xian Shun? Just like that, he comes to Master's lecture whenever she feels like. Huh, Brady? And she asks you to replace her? Oh, well, Xian Shun would come and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I give you some water? And, oh! And she cried even louder. And guess what? I told her. And she looked at me and said, Master, what do I do? I said, ignore her. She's not dead yet. What are you worried about? So that lady said, what's happening to him? He's not dead yet. Don't worry. When he dies, that's when we throw him under the bench. Okay? Good riddance. Find another one to call W2. You know what W2 is? You Koreans don't know. W2 is a form the government sends you because you need to file taxes. Yeah. Yeah, in America, we all know by this time of the year, it's W2 we're looking for. Everyone. Most of us who have a job. Anyway, see, we are ready for W2 already. Okay, so what does creating karma mean? That's what you do. Every single waking moment of your life, you are creating karmas. How? Yeah, I know it's a depressing thought. You are creating karmas right now. Karmas. What kind of karma? What's a karma? Karma is you doing something. Karma means doing. That's all it means. Okay? The Indians, the yogis, and the other non-Buddhist practitioners say, karma, 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 as if, karma, 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 karma. What is that song again? Boy George, I think. You guys don't listen to music? Am I the only one listening to music here? God, you guys are so boring. I can't stand this. Go ahead, go Forrest.
I was going to ask a master's question. So we create karma by thinking all the time?
Thinking. Yes, you create karmas by mind. When your mind thinks, you're creating mind karmas. Okay? Right there. You think like, I'm going to kill you! Before you kill anyone, you're creating mind karmas already. Why does it matter? That mind karma right there, okay? That thought, those thoughts right there will come back and haunt you when you meditate. Because when you meditate, you say, have I killed that guy yet? Oh, I'm so glad he's still alive. I don't have to go to jail for too long. You see? It comes back to you. They'll come back and harass you, those thoughts. When you meditate, the thought arrives in your mind. Because in the past, you created mind karmas. Is it clear? It matters. Does it help? Okay? So mind karmas. What else? Yes, W1.
Master, even when we cultivate, isn't that creating a form of karma? So wouldn't karma mean action of any sort?
You're doing something, that's all it means. And you could be doing something good or something bad. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's still a karma. The non-Buddhists think of karma as something bad. But no, karma is just, we do something. Because we do something anyway in our lives. And whatever we do, it will create a karma. Why does it make a difference? It means that whatever thought you have will be reflected in your consciousness. It's a seed that says, I have this thought, okay, of being nice to someone. It's a seed that's created, that you carry with you. That's all. Okay, so your consciousness is stored in what is called the eighth consciousness, where all your karmas created are stored there. So it's an infinite storage space, if you will. Not like 100 terabytes or 10,000 trillion, quazillion terabyte, whatever. No, it's infinite. Whatever karma you're creating, it's there. It's there, okay? It's a record, if you will. Yes, 9.
Master, if you think about the Buddha and if you think Amitabha, does that come back to help you in a certain time where you can need it too?
Yes, when you say Amitabha, that you're creating a karma called reciting Amitabha, and therefore it's stored in your consciousness. Okay? It's a good karma. Yes, W.
Well, I just want to say, from Malcolm's point, these beads, I've been using these a lot to recite mantras.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I was in my friend's car, and I was about to get out of the car, and I couldn't find my beads, and so I looked in my pockets, and I found them finally, and then I opened the door. And I almost opened the door at the time another car was coming and would have hit the door. But the beads, I must have been from the blessings I got from reciting mantras and saying Amitabha, that I opened it right after the car had gone after.
After the car passed you by.
Yeah. And my friend looked at me and said, man, that is crazy. I said, oh yeah, I was looking for my beads.
Wow, that's so cool. Which mantra? No, wait. You get excited so easily. God, I can't stand this. Which mantra was that you reciting? Don't you want to know which mantra was reciting?
I do all of them. I do Amitofo, Yaosharulai, and then the Amitabha mantra, and the Medicine Master mantra, and the Shurangama mantras.
Which one in particular at that time?
I wasn't doing it at the time. They were in my pocket at the time.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yes, reciting mantras. All those. I was hoping for one, but 5. Too much work. Yes, 2. Yes, sir.
Yes, Master. Diego says, Amitofo, Master, is it really possible to not create any karma when manifested in any realm?
Precisely. That's why he's beyond comprehension. It's not something you can imagine yourself. I just made a statement. Every single waking moment, you're creating karmas. You are creating karmas. Okay? Because you're thinking, you're creating karmas. You're speaking, you're creating mouth karmas. Okay? He recited Amitofo, recited mantra. That's mouth karma. Happen to be good mouth karmas. When you scold someone, yell someone, that's bad mouth karmas. All right? What's another form of karma you're creating? By body. There are 3 kinds of karmas: mind, mouth, or body. Okay? Like a trinity. You know Trinity? Oh, you 2 Buddhas. Say, what's the matter with you? The wrong 3? Okay. The body. Okay, so the body, what kind of karmas can the body create? Body creates karmas of? Killing. The Ukrainians are killing the Russians. Okay? So many, I'm told that there are 200,000 Russian soldiers lost their lives for the past year or so. Ukraine claims 200,000 innocent Russians. 200,000. Okay, that's killing karma. What else do you do with your body? Stealing karmas. Yes, you steal. Yes? Who hasn't stolen? We all have stolen something. Yeah? We all committed that body karma of stealing. Yes? Anyone stole something in your life? All of you. All of us. What other body karma can you... Dragon lady. Stole. And what other body karma did you create? Yes, 9.
Going to get a tattoo.
Get a tattoo? What kind of karma is that? Let me think. Why do you keep on throwing curved balls at me? Can't we stick to like Buddhist things? Why do you have to go into tattoos? Yes, go for us.
Oh, I was gonna say another physical body karma, sexual misconduct.
Sexual misconduct, yes. That's 3. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's 3, right? Excellent. Yes, sir. W. I'm going to drop the 1 because, we keep it simple. It's only 1 anyway of you.
What about eating food or doing exercise? Wouldn't that be body karma?
It's body karma, absolutely. Okay? So whatever we do with our bodies, it's called body karma. All right, so we're creating three kinds of karma constantly. For example, right now, what body karmas are you creating? Sitting. You sit on a lot of virus and microbe. You're killing them. Isn't it wonderful? You think you're nice, but you're not. Yes, go for it.
So, for example, in the case of the Russian soldiers, who is getting that karma, the Ukrainian soldiers or the ones that send them to war?
What was it again?
Yeah. In the case of the Russian soldiers, who is getting the karma for those deaths? The person that, like the Ukrainian soldier, or the person that is sending Ukrainian soldiers to war?
Okay, someone translate it for me.
He says that.
Someone help him translate it into English for me.
Who gets the killing karma of the Ukrainian soldiers? The soldiers or the politicians that send them?
Both. The soldiers who are pulling the trigger or are using the machetes to cut someone's throat. We're not going to go into gory details. So they're committing the karma themselves, but also their bosses, their superiors, who send them there, who placed the order, who ordered them to do it, also are creating killing karmas themselves. All right? So meaning that in general, if you order someone to create karmas, you are creating karma yourself. The same karma, no different. So don't say that, if I hire someone to kill someone else, then that person is committing a killing act, I'm free from a killing act. No, if you order them to do it, you are responsible for the karmas to yourself. All right? Does it help? All right. So, for example, the old monk there who's sitting in DTT right now, he used to order his soldiers to go and kill a lot of Viet Cong. Okay? He had a lot of killing karmas himself. Is that true, Master Old Monk?
A Di Đà Phật. Theo con nghĩ thế này nè, mà cái này con hiểu ra từ cái lúc mà con phát năm 2018, 17 vậy đó. Mà Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa cũng nói, tất cả cái trên đời này đó là chữ án là cái basic của tất cả vạn vật trên đời này. Vậy thì theo khoa học là cái gì? Tất cả vạn vật trên đời này từ cái atom nó thành với cái gì? Từ bây giờ mình học hóa học mình biết là 20.000 cái atom khác nhau, là người biết được 20.000 cái atom khác nhau. Khả dịch đi.
Amitabha Master, this is from what I understand from the fasting in 2017, 2018. Also, Venerable Shen Hua also saying this. Everything in this life is created basically from the word an. In science, we know that there is more than 20,000 different elements.
Atom, different atom. Atom make element.
Different atom.
Thì khi mà mình theo con nghĩ á, khi một cá nhân nào đó từ cõi trời cho đến cõi người, tất cả các 6 loài các chúng sanh mình khởi nghĩ là một cái gì đó, thì mình mua cái atom đó rồi. Rồi thứ hai là cái miệng mình nói, cái thân mình làm thì mình mua tụi nó thành cái gì đó. Chẳng như một khoa học gia ông chế nó cái gì đó thì là đủ hết thân miệng ý rồi. Ra chất này, ra chất kia, ra bom nguyên tử, ra này, ra nọ, hoặc là ra thuốc trụ sinh. Thiện ác đủ thứ thì do 3 cái thân nghiệp miệng ý mình khởi lên thì mình mua mấy cái atom nó thành cái gì đó. Thì đạo Phật mình gọi là nghiệp. Nghiệp thì nó có thiện có ác. Dịch đi hả?
So this is my personal thought. All of living beings, even from the heaven above to the earth, human realm below, every time we strike up a thought, we also move the atoms. Everything we say, everything we do is also created something just like the scientists create bombs, all kind of those things. When they thought of it, they do it, they say it, it's creating that. So these things, whether it's wholesome or evil, our body, mouth, and mind, we move those atoms, it becomes something. In Buddhism, it's called karma.
Với ông ngài Washington của mình á, ông giết cái quân đội Anh để ông kháng chiến, ông giữ nước Mỹ, giành độc lập cho nước Mỹ. Thì ông Washington, ông ghi cái nghiệp sát, nhưng mà ông đối với dân Mỹ, ông là người ân nhân. Bây giờ mình gọi là ngài Washington là tổng thống này nọ, nhưng mà đối với người Anh là ông giết người ta. Thì nghiệp ác, nghiệp thiện tùy theo cái cộng đồng, tùy theo cái văn hóa, cái cá nhân hoặc là một cái cộng đồng nào đó, chứ không có cái nào đúng cái nào sai. Mình làm thì mình cái đó tự nhiên nó chế vậy thôi. Mình mua cái atom đó thì nó thành cái này, mà mua nó thành cái khác, mình phá ra nó tan nó thành cái khác. Thì cũng từ cái thân miệng ý mình tạo lên thôi.
Just like the President Washington, he was on the British side, commit a lot of killing karma. On one side, he helped gain the independence for America. On the other hand, he create a lot of karma. Just like for this America, he is a hero. Evil or wholesome, depending on our culture, our society. It's neither right or wrong. Whatever we do, we create it. It become something, it become a karma from our body, mouth, and mind. Created, that's all.
That's it. Well, I ask you a question.
Theo nữa là thí dụ bây giờ một cái thì bây giờ Đức Phật mới dạy mình là làm sao để mà mình gây cái nghiệp tốt, để mà mình đừng có phải oan trái trả với nhau vậy thôi. Thì Pháp Phật đã dạy hết trong đó, rồi quý vị tìm hiểu trong đó thì biết.
So therefore today, learning about Buddhism, he taught us how to create good karma. Does not create oan trái. Master, I don't understand.
Right or wrong.
Does not create right or wrong. To untie the knot of hatred against each other, that's all.
Okay, thank you for the atom suggestion. All right, so you create karmas. My point here is that we are constantly creating karmas, all of us, through our body, our mouth, and our mind. The Buddhist Trinity. So far, so good? All right. So this is what we do, and yet these world rulers are not creating karmas at all. Wherever they enter, wherever they go, they don't create karmas. When they go, for example, they travel to Europe, they're not creating karma. They go to Africa, they're not creating karmas. How is that? They're not the same as we are. We go to, wherever we go, we create karmas. Wherever we are, we're creating karmas. And these beings, because they're enlightened, they stopped creating karmas. That, again, proves my point, that they have wisdom. That's why they do things that we cannot do. It's a different world out there, folks. It's more than just what you can understand or what you can imagine. And these world rulers have infinite wisdom. That's why they can go to somewhere and anywhere at all in the universe, and they don't create karmas. Is it clear? This is first concept. They don't create karmas at all, unlike us. They're not the same as we are because they are enlightened. Not just enlightened, as I said. They're high-level enlightenment where they stop creating any karmas at all. Low-level enlightenments, they still create karmas. Sometimes they don't, but most of the time they still create karmas. High-level enlightenment, they don't. They stop creating karmas. Is it clear? This is why we continue to cultivate so that we get higher and higher levels so that we can get to the level where we can really do tremendous good with our lives. Is it clear? When you're creating karmas here, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yes? He talked about atoms. He said, I kill. Or you can call it good or call it bad. Doesn't matter. The point is that when you creating karmas, sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's bad. Okay? Doesn't matter. You're still creating karmas. Yes? These beings, they have so much wisdom, they stop creating karmas. How is it possible? You believe it? How is it possible that we create karmas and they don't? What's the rationale behind it? Yes, go forth.
And now, now you're ready.
I just wanted to ask, how do you become a world ruler?
Isn't it beyond your your grade level? Huh, young man?
Obviously.
You interested in becoming a world ruler already? Can you finish high school first, please?
No, I just wanted to ask how.
How you want to become a world ruler? Because you can. Meaning that, young men, these are world rulers because they can benefit a big portion of the world, of the universe. When you get older, you will learn, young men, that we are put in a position where we can do the most good. That's the nature of society and of civilization. Okay? In civilized world, we are promoted to the level where we can do the most good with our talents. So that's why you as a young man, if you want to become a world ruler, you need to meditate a lot more. Does it help?
Wait, again.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to know how you become a world ruler who's not a young man? Okay, and for you adults, you become a world ruler because you become enlightened, and as I said, you become high-level enlightenment. That's how you become world ruler. At this level here, this particular king brilliance derived from wholesome reflection, he became a world ruler because he stopped creating karmas. How do you stop creating karmas? Yes, W.
I was wondering if maybe it's because they don't have a self that the karmas get attached to.
That's right. Okay. Who creates karmas? Someone creates karmas. Yes, someone decides I want become rich, and I will defraud people through cryptocurrencies. Okay? So someone decides to benefit themselves at the expense of others. Okay? As long as you have a self, as long as you have an ego, everything you do creates karmas. But when you have no more ego, when the ego empties out, when there's no more ego, then who's creating karmas? No one. Does it make sense to you? Intellectually, that's what it means. There's a self, there's an ego there called Brady, called Lyle, called Sisters Victorina, called South Carolina, called W1, who's creating karmas. Yes? Because they say, I like this, I like to listen to music. Yes, you're creating, listening to the music karmas. Okay? So there's still an ego there. But when the ego is emptied, is no more ego, then there's no more karmas being created. Next question is, how can you empty your ego? Through cultivation. I guess I know the young man's going to ask me next. Before I become a world ruler, I need to empty my ego. Okay? All right. Any other questions and comments? Yes, sir. W.
What if I do something selfless that still creates karma, right?
When you are selfless,
Yeah.
can you create karmas?
Yeah, if I create karma because I'm selfish, because I have a self, what if I do something that helps me get away from the self to benefit others at the expense of myself?
Right. And?
Does that create karmas, or does that create no karmas?
When you have no self or with self?
I do something to lessen the ego self.
You're creating karmas to lessen yourself. Easy answer. Yes, sir. Your neighbor. W3.
Master, I was going to ask, what if they can stop their thoughts then, right? The celestial kings for a long period, no thoughts.
Okay, you're not creating thought karmas, and so what? There's still body karma, and there's still mouth karmas.
No, I mean with them, they have no ego, so they can stop all thoughts too. The no thoughts.
Yes, and what's your point?
That was it. The no thoughts, no ego.
And?
That's it.
You're like the old monk. I'm trying to get something out of you, but I can't. Yes, W. You just want to tell me what you want to think.
No.
You're not answering my question. No, I'm not talking to you. Wait for your turn. Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask about artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Peter and I asked you a question about it a while ago, and you answered, and I thought you said artificial intelligence is stupid, and he thought you said artificial intelligence is sentient.
Yeah.
But do they create karmas? Or do they not have the ability to create karma?
Good question. I like this guy. What kind of car do you drive again? Today?
Volkswagen. No,
What color again?
White.
White? What the model?
W1.
W. This guy's getting smart. I'm not going to answer your question. I don't know who you are. Okay, go Forrest.
I think
Don't stay on the AI question. Don't help him.
Okay, that's what I was commenting on. So never mind. Sorry.
What did I tell you? They're all plotting against me. Go ahead. Plot.
No.
I think the software engineers who create the AI programs, they create karma. The programs themselves don't have.
Agree? Easy for programmer. It's so clear to her. Is that clear? Yes, go ahead, W.
I'm not any expert on artificial intelligence, but from what I understand, the computers start making they create the code themselves, right? So what you're saying is the karma comes from the engineers, not from the computers?
The engineers who created the original code, AI code, then which generates the new code. The original engineers are creating karmas. Make sense? And later they'll be known as the AI gods. We are religious society here. Yeah, new gods, new type of God. Yeah. Think about it. Anyone else? Okay. So, as long as you have a self, as long as you have an ego, you are creating karmas through your mouth, through your mind, through your body. Is that clear? So in order for these world rulers to not creating karmas, by being able to enter, what happened to my van? Is it ready now? No? How can you take a break? I can't believe it. What happened? Anyway, good thing I don't need the van. Oh, yeah? Okay. They're creating good karmas coming to listen to the sutra lectures. But they can create much better karma fixing Master's van. Just kidding. Okay, welcome. How can you take a break? I don't get it. Anyway. Okay, I got distracted easily. Where were we again? Yes, DTT.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Are karma are created equal? If I steal $1 from someone and then I kill someone, are they the same?
Okay, you're creating two karmas. You steal someone, you're creating stealing karma, something, you're creating stealing karmas, yes? And you give the money to someone, you're creating giving karmas. So two types of karmas you're creating. That's all. Because you still have an ego. You still see yourself stealing. You still see yourself giving. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
When you steal something, you see yourself stealing. Yes or no?
Yes.
When you give something, you see yourself giving. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, then you're creating karmas. It's a very simple rule of thumb. Do you see yourself doing it? Then you're creating karmas. If you do, you're creating karmas.
Okay, so if let's say I steal money, and then the person kill me, that's not equal.
Does it equalize itself? No.
Why would I get killed just for $1?
Yeah. If you steal $1,000 and the person kills you, so different kinds of karmas. Is your life worth $1,000? I think not. Probably $100. You see? Different kinds of karmas. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Anyone else? Isn't it interesting? We're creating karmas constantly. We don't think about it. Why? Because we live with ourselves. We're so used to being ourselves. That's what, we often hear people say, be yourself. Master says, be yourself, be yourself. It doesn't mean you should be creating karmas. Okay, you should be like him. This celestial king here, heavenly king here, he can do things without creating karmas. How do you create things how can you do things without creating karmas? Go first.
I was going to ask a lower level question. It is implied that creating no karma is better than creating good karma. I'm just wondering, why is that the case?
Come again? What's your point? I'm sorry. I have you have some competition here. You said, Yes.
The question is, it is implied that creating no karma is better than creating good karma. So I'm wondering, why is that the case?
There's no implication. The implication is only in your mind.
I thought the celestial being that creates no karma is a really high...
No. The first thing that you need to understand immediately from this name here, right here at this slide number 2, that for today's lecture, my God, we stuck on number 2. And we have how many of these that we have to explain? This is why I explained one sutra like this thick, and it took me 3 years. Because of questions like this. I'm kidding, okay? No, you're welcome to ask questions. I'm here to help clarify things for you. It's not about the volume, it's about what's important to you that we'll discuss, okay? So what's great about this, I want to draw your attention to? What? You're leaving us now? God. As soon as we talk about karma, they leave. Go create some good karmas, boys. Anyway, the interesting thing here I want you to understand is that the first step is that can you not create karmas? First. Okay? If you can't, then you have no wisdom. Clearly. The first level, if you still are creating karmas, you have no real wisdom. Period. So far, so good. DTT.
Master, I have a question.
Yes.
Is this a create karma thing? It's a one-time thing, or it keeps happening when it affects others? Let's see, for example, if someone write a book, like convincing others to commit suicide, is this karma creating finished when this writer finished writing the book, or it keeps its ongoing whenever someone else read the book and commit a suicide? Is this an ongoing thing?
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Absolutely.
So the karma keeps, creating by itself, and it's a credit for the writer.
No, as long as someone else creates karmas because of your suggestions, because you planted such thoughts into their minds, then It's your karmas too. You can't hide. You can run away all the way to Australia. It's still your karma. There's no hiding for you. Okay? You create karma, you have. You are responsible, period. Wherever you are. If you create a karma writing a book advocating that people should kill themselves, and when people do, you're creating karmas. Actually are creating a killing karma. You're the one who are killing those people who are killing themselves. Go forth.
So in the case of that book, if, for example, you write one book for helping people, but the people that read it commit suicide, for example, which kind of karma are you creating there?
Well, you're creating two different types of karmas. In the book it says, be good and help others and praise the Lord and so forth. You're helping people create good karmas. Is it clear? And therefore, when they do good karmas, those good karmas are because of through your suggestions, then you are benefiting from their good karmas. Because they listen to you. On the other hand, if you suggest to them that they should go and kill someone or hurt someone, invade someone, and kill a lot of innocent civilians, for example, okay? Then those people, those soldiers, those killers are creating killing karmas. And again, because you're the one who ultimately ordered them or suggested to them to commit those killing acts, you are also the killers. You also are creating the killing karmas yourself. So at two levels. The person who, with the hand, commits a killing act, and the person who commands or suggests the killing act. They're creating the same level of severity. No different. No different whatsoever. You don't say, oh, because the person who actually does the killing, I just suggested it. I'm not responsible. No, it's the same level of severity. Yes, too.
Yes, Master, from Thori Mai Nguyen. The question is, when we repent, does that help to remove bad karma?
Depends on how you repent. It's a good question. So why do we Buddhists tell you that you're creating karmas? So that if you believe us, you should ask, how do I fix it? Is there a way to fix it? Because if you don't believe us, you say, yeah, it's okay, man. I'm being patriotic. I just obey orders. There's no big deal. It's not me. You don't believe. Who cares? It's your life. But the Buddhist disciples are the ones who are smart, who have blessing, and say, wait a minute, it sounds pretty serious. There's some consequences to my karmas. How do I fix it? Is there a way to fix it? Then he said, yes, there is. This is why we talk about it. We talk about it so that if you have faith, you believe, then you would ask us for help in how to fix it. Yes? Yes, 3.
Hello? So, Master, I got a crazy, weird tangent idea.
What else is new?
What else do I do? Okay, so what if someone writes a book like a sci-fi book or adventure book, and in it they have a lot of different kinds of scenes in it, and
like a James Bond book.
let's say, or something else,
Okay.
Ian
You don't like James Bond? Okay, how about Indiana Jones?
I like James Bond. I like Ian Fleming. Okay, so
Me too.
thing is, let's say someone reads it and instead of just taking like an adventure, they decide, hey, I like the way this person got killed, or I like the technique of something, and then they extrapolate something.
Yes.
Then so is the author of the book still responsible as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because that person who didn't know that you could poison someone by using what is it? What is the latest thing to poison people? I don't know. Someone teaches. Someone teach me. Huh? What's the latest technology? Yes, sir. Nutka?
Novichok was the poison used.
Yeah, the Russians.
Kill,
Putin.
Yeah, I can't remember I think it was not Navalny, but one of the other.
Yeah, I heard of that too. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah. But that's KGB kind of thing, FSB kind of thing. Can we have something more popular, like we can accessible here in the U.S., and so that you can be responsible? This guy is smart. I mean, tell them something they can't reach. Yeah, pretty smart. Okay. Yes, sir.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl? Yeah. Good Lord. That's readily available everywhere nowadays. Pretty cheap, too. Yes, 9.
Master, what's brilliance, what's derived from wholesome reflection?
When you think good, only have good thoughts, okay, which is something you cannot do. Okay, but if you imagine you can think of good thoughts only, then you emit light. Emit light. You can emit light, first of all. But if at their level, when they have these good thoughts, they emit brilliant lights because they're so much stronger than we are. And the kind of lights that can be seen very far away. When we emit light here in our temple, maybe some of you can see it. Okay, for example, it's a funny thing that the master old monk, he met, our temple has relics, and someone asked earlier, should I share the relics with the family? I said, we have the relics here at our temple. When we were at Blue Mountain Temple, and we started sharing the relics with the LA, community LA, and people came and said, are they for real? Are they for real? Okay, we used to have a lot of questions like that. Okay, and over time, more and more people came, and more people believe, because CBS, NBC, AP, and so forth. They mention it. They come in the interview and so forth, and many people have responses and so forth. So it's no longer an issue. But one day, the old monk told me he met a lady, Asian lady, who says, so he asked her, he talked to her, and said, why did you come to our relic exhibit? He says, because someone told me that she saw light from Blue Mountain Temple. Sister Victorina, you remember? Yeah, tell that story. I don't remember. I only heard like third parties or something.
Oh, it was great. So, Blue Mountain Temple is in a residential area, and,
yes.
and the roads aren't straight. So you cannot easily get to the temple. A lot of this and that, and then the name changes and so forth. So this lady apparently said, we had so many people at the very beginning, and she just said, oh, I kind of got lost, but I just looked up in the sky, and I just followed the light beam, because you could see all this energy going straight into the sky, and then they would just follow that. That's how she got.
Really?
Yeah, that's how she
your version is much better than mine. Darn. That's why at first I thought of renting a searchlight and so shoot it in the sky to tell people. But now I found, after I heard that story, I said, hey, why waste money? Okay. So how do we get there again? Oh, brilliance, thank you. And that's what happens. Because at your level, like Buddha's level, the light is pretty strong. That's why. Yes, DGT.
A Di Đà Phật, cái câu chuyện đó là phát xuất từ con. Là bữa đó là ở chùa đi đâu hết, có một mình con ở nhà thôi. Cũng khoảng đâu 11, 12 giờ trưa vậy. Thì có một cô người Tàu khoảng chừng 22, 23 tuổi à. Cô này nói tiếng Anh rất giỏi, thì cô nói là cổ là du học sinh của người Đài Loan. Thì một bà Tàu già biểu tao là coi cái chỗ này cái gì mà tại sao ban đêm nó phát rất là nhiều ánh sáng. Lúc đó thầy chứa cái xá lợi trong cái phòng của mấy sư cô ở cái phòng bên phải đó, cái phòng mà đi đường đi xuống nhà bếp đó. Thì có nói bà Tàu già biểu tao lại coi cái này là cái gì mà ban đêm nó sáng dữ lắm. Rồi tôi hỏi cô ở đâu, cô nói tôi là du học sinh người Đài Loan. Con mới trả lời cổ là có lẽ là tại chúng tôi chứa xá lợi ở đây chỗ này nè. Vậy thôi. Yeah.
Amitofo, Master, this story actually come from me. That day, everybody left. I don't know what happened. Only me staying at the temple. So around 11 and 12 o'clock in the afternoon, there was one Chinese come to our temple. Actually, she is a international student from Taiwan. So she told me that there was an old lady told her that at night there was a very brilliant light shooting out, and she told me to come check out our temple to see what happened. So at that time, I understand that we are hiding our relics at the corner of the kitchen side. And so she come and asked to check it out to see what happened. And I told her that probably because of the relics that we are holding right now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, question from JMT.
되는 거죠. 안녕하세요, 마스터. 저는 그 질문이 있는데 제가 몇 년 전인지도 기억이 안 나는데요. 1년 전인지 2년 전인지도 기억이 안 나고 사리를 어떤 분한테 전달을 받았어요. 그래서 그거를 작은 목걸이에 두고 차고 다녔었습니다. 근데 어느 날 여자친구랑 밥을 먹고 나왔는데 목걸이가 허전한 거예요. 보니까 그 목걸이만 있고 다 빠져서 사리가 길거리에 흘러 나간 것 같더라고요. 찾아보려고 하니까 찾지도 못했고 그날 놀라서 엄마한테 물어봤어요. 나 어떻게 해야 되나? 엄마가 지금이라도 얼른 절에 가서 자주 절에 가라 그렇게만 말씀하셨는데 저는 듣지 않았죠. 그리고 이렇게 시간이 흘러서 오늘 법문을 듣다 보니까 이제 와서 보니까 생각이 납니다. 저 어떻게 해야 되나요?
Master, hi, I have a question. I don't know how long ago it was, maybe a year or 2 years ago. From somebody I received shariras. So what I did was I made a necklace and then I wore them. And one day I went out with my girlfriend, we went out for eating, and then I realized that I only had a necklace and then all the sharira, I lost it somewhere. Maybe it fell into the ground. So I came back home and I asked my mom, what should I do, Mom? And then she says, maybe you need to go to temple more. Anyway, many years after, now I'm asking you, what should I do, Master?
About the lost relics?
Yes.
Ask the old monk, he's a relics expert. Master old monk, what should he do?
Tôi không biết, cái là không phải sám hối cái gì con đâu có biết được. Cái gì nó rất là nhiều nguyên nhân.
So what you do is when the old monk comes to Korea in beginning of April, ask him for replacement shariras. And be nice to him. You know, if you sweet talk to him, he'll known to give a lot of shariras. Don't try to sweet talk to me. I don't give out shariras. I don't care. I'm very stingy. What? Come again? So many people try to ask me for sharira. I say, oh yeah? What is it again? Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. But you ask old monk, he look at you, oh yeah, here, 20 of them. You know, here, have some more. Would you like some more? That's why he has so many shariras, I have 0. Okay, all right? I hope it helps. Go ask him. He's coming beginning of April. Something like that, okay? Now the old monk knows he has to bring a lot of shariras to Korea.
Tại vì Đức Phật, cái chuyện xá lợi này là không có thể nói được, tại vì nó tùy theo cái hoàn cảnh với cái tâm của mỗi người chứ. Không có cái nào là cái mẫu hết. Chẳng hạn như bà Pháp Đạt đó. Có một người có cái xá lợi ăn nên làm ra, thì nhậu nhẹt không giữ giới mất. Thì mấy tháng sau nó về nhà sư bà tự động thôi. Thì người ta thấy, người ta lên người ta đòi. Nên nói ổng không nghe là ông đòi. Ông nói tôi đâu có tới nhà chú tôi lấy đâu. Bây giờ chú đòi cỡ nào tôi không có trả. Tại vì tôi đâu có lại nhà chú tôi ăn cắp. Tôi có rất nhiều mình không trả. Tại vì chú coi chú làm sao chú mất. Rất là nhiều người bạn bè con cũng vậy. Xá lợi tới và đi rất là bất thường. Nó tùy theo cái hoàn cảnh, cái trường hợp của mình. Không có cái mẫu nào để mình nói ra được hết. Nhưng mà nói chung là mình giữ giới, mình làm phước. Mình có cái lòng cần cầu thì xá lợi sẽ tới.
Okay, very good. Shall we continue with slide 46? We're still not done yet. After almost an hour and a half. We only have half an hour left. We should try to learn something, don't you think? Okay. Okay. So, you know you create karmas. And these beings, because they put an end to the ego, they remove the ego. That's why they stop creating karmas, first of all. Is that clear? Okay, that's called wisdom. You have wisdom, that's when you can stop creating karmas. You're creating karmas because you have no wisdom. There's no beating around the bush, folks. We call a spade a spade. If you create karmas, you have no wisdom. In a state of no wisdom. Is that clear? All right? So these beings, they can create no karmas by entering infinite realms, meaning that wherever they go, in infinite places, they're not creating karmas. So far, so good. How is it possible? Even if you don't have an ego, assume you don't have an ego. I want you to think about these issues. It sounds so simple. It's not as simple as you think. But let's assume you have no ego. You have no self right now. And you go to Korea. And you know what the Koreans do? When you go to Korea, they invite you to a nice restaurant. Anyone been through it? Every time I go to Korea, I go to a nice restaurant. Okay? They make it a point to invite you to a nice restaurant. Sometimes it's a pizza place. And the great pizzas in Korea, they eat pizza with honey. Can you imagine? Pizza with honey. Okay, so Even if you have no ego, but you eat pizza with honey. What do you think? Are you creating karmas or not? Absolutely. You're shocked. I said, oh my God, what kind of place is this? You don't eat honey with pizza. Come on. And they tell me with a straight face. They told me repeatedly. They do it in Italy. I said, but we in Korea. Don't quote Italy to me. Koreans are weird, let me tell you. How can you not create karmas? I'm serious. You have no ego, but I'm sure, can you imagine, you may have no self, but your face, aren't you creating karmas? What do you think? Are you creating karma? Let's say a bodhisattva comes to Korea and was invited to go eat pizza. The person, are they creating karmas? Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. I have two questions actually. Is samadhi a karmic state? This is my first question.
Is karma what?
Is being while you are in samadhi, are you creating karma?
Depends what samadhi. In just low level samadhi, you're creating karmas. High level samadhi, you're not.
Then I think in there lies the answer. And then number two is when I do enter my low-level samadhis, afterwards people say I look like a zombie, and I don't feel like I have the energy to be a better person in the world. How can I improve?
What kind of samadhi you enter? It's certainly not Buddhist.
Maybe.
Buddhist Dharma's samadhis are very good. I think. I'm not biased, I don't think.
My thinking goes down a lot, but I just don't have like this. I have a torpor that comes with it that doesn't I don't feel like doing anything either.
That's called depression. It's not samadhi. You enter the depression samadhi. Let's not confuse them, okay? Buddhist samadhis have no depression. I don't think. I do a lot of sales, so don't mind me. Okay? I'm biased. What can I say? Anyone else? Yes, W.
If a bodhisattva goes to Korea and eats pizza,
Thank you. Someone is paying attention to my questions, to my lecture. The rest of you is wondering, I don't know. I'd like to go to Korea for fun, but I'm not going to have pizza in Korea. Anyway, sorry.
according to the Vajra Sutra, if he has the thought of I'm a bodhisattva or I'm eating pizza or I'm eating pizza with honey, then he's not a bodhisattva. So if he has those thoughts, then he's creating karma. If he doesn't have those thoughts, then he has no self and he's not creating karma.
Okay. Stay in your W realm. DTT, don't quote bodhisattvas. You don't know what you're talking about. DTT, yes. BW. Yes.
Hello, Master. Con xin chào thầy. Con xin hỏi thầy, nếu mà mình biết thế nào mình cũng có tạo nghiệp, mà làm cách nào để mà mình sám hối rồi mình cho được giải được cái nghiệp?
Amitabha Master, I have a question. If we know that we are creating karma, then how can we repent to be able to resolve that karma?
Good question. I'm sorry I didn't finish answering my question to a similar question before. How do you, when you create karmas, how do you repent? How do you erase it? By repentances. They have all sorts of repentances, especially in Mahayana repentances. They will erase all those karmic retributions. Okay? Will zap those seeds from your consciousness. The reason that you have a retribution coming at you because of those seeds. This is trade secret, folks. Mahayana secrets. Okay? Remember, when you create karma, there's a seed in your consciousness. Is it clear? That's how your retribution comes. The seeds mature, the retributions come. For example, if you create a killing karma and you have a seed of killing someone, in the future, that killing seed matured, you'll be killed yourself. That's your retribution. Is that clear? It's very scientific in Buddhism. There's no beating around the bush. If the seed is there, you have to pay. So what do people do in Buddhism? We know the seeds there are the key. So what we do when we do repentance is we zap those seeds. Gone. No more seeds. No more retribution. You're free. Okay, so we have many different types of dharmas to zap those seeds. Cool, huh? Yes, 4.
Thank you, Master. I just imagine maybe Bodhisattva went to the Korea. I think Bodhisattva make a transfer.
The Koreans are obsessed about the pizza thing.
Bodhisattva make a transfer honey to other things. I think that's why they are. Yeah, Master said it's so weird, but Bodhisattva saw the honey, read pizza. He make a transfer honey to good things. Just imagine.
I don't know what to say. I have too many Korean disciples. They're all so Korean. You touch the Koreans, they touch a whole country. That's how scary they are. You touch the Vietnamese, you only have one to deal with one. But you touch the Korean, it's the whole North Korea. I mean, just kidding, just kidding. Yes, DTT. My God, we're not going to be able to finish this slide today. DTT.
Master, I have a question about your question. Because in your question you said, my question is, can someone who doesn't have ego still discriminate? Because in your question, this person who is looking at the pizza, he doesn't have the ego at the moment, but he's still surprised at the pizza contains the milk, honey. So it means he still discriminate, but he doesn't have the ego. Is this possible?
What's the matter with these Chinese people? I have a problem with Koreans. Now it's the Chinese who's joining the party. What? Can I just move on to my slide, please? God. Okay, I'm getting heated up here. Good thing I just shaved my head this morning. Otherwise, I'd be sweating right now. Okay, let me answer both questions by ignoring them. How's that? Let me finish my story. Okay, because I need to finish it, folks. We are on a strict schedule here, we have things to do. It's not like you who have nothing to do with you, that's why you go to sutra lectures. Never mind. Okay. Just because you don't create karmas, what makes you think they don't create karmas? You see, you read the sutra and say, I don't create karma anymore. Yahoo! I made it. No. After you get the state where you don't create karmas, that's when you can create karmas. That's wisdom. You are creating karmas. That's why you're so scared. You say, I don't want to create karma. I don't create karmas. Because you're so afraid of the retribution. Yes? You're afraid to suffer. These bodhisattvas, they have the choice. Do I create karmas or don't I create karmas? And these beings, they say sometimes they enter infinite realms without creating any karmas. Yes? So that, like Captain Kirk in Star Trek, so that they don't mess up the infinite number of civilizations they enter. They don't mess them up. Does it make sense? Captain Kirk is very wise. You don't watch TV either? Finally, a soul who's civilized. Yes, sir. Speak.
Thank you, Master. I might think Captain Picard meddled a little bit less in the affairs of the species
Than Captain Kirk.
Than Captain Kirk.
Yeah, I agree.
Captain Kirk had
because Picard is French. Kirk is American.
I believe Captain Kirk.
We're very racist,
Single and ready to mingle kind of approach.
A what? Come again?
He was single and ready to mingle with the species. With Captain Picard was a bit more je ne sais pas, affluent.
Okay. Don't overdo it. Okay, so once you have the wisdom to know that you don't create karmas, okay, then you can choose to create karmas. All right? Because have you thought about it? You haven't thought about it. That's why you say, I'm creating karmas. I don't want to create karmas. Here's what happens. If you don't create karmas, you're a bodhisattva. You don't create karmas. That's what bodhisattvas can do. Yes? Okay? So they don't create karmas. What happens to the sister here who comes to the bodhisattva and says, can I offer you $5? And the bodhisattva says, of course, you can offer me $5. It ain't going to do nothing to you because my receiving is nothing. Is it good for you? Good for the sister? You understand my point? So the bodhisattva have a choice. He says, I can accept the money and I'm creating no karmas, or I can accept the money and I create karmas. What do I want to do? In order to benefit her. You are not a bodhisattva, that's why you have no choice. Every time you take the money, I just say, $5. It's just like us. $5, oh my God, today I can finally eat. You know what I mean? So, the bodhisattvas are not like us. They can choose to create karmas or not create karmas. And you do that because you're able to not create karmas. Once you cannot create karmas, then you can choose to create karmas out of wisdom. Does it help? See, you stuck on the word. You stuck. I don't want to create karma because you're so afraid to suffer. Yes? But sometimes the Bodhisattva says, I want to I want to slap you. And they really slap you hard. And guess what? They're creating karmas. And guess what? You said, how dare you hit me like that? I thought you were a nice person. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to pursue him and say, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. You watch. Okay? And guess what? This woman pursues a bodhisattva forever until and that's how the bodhisattva brings her to his pure land. Or his impure land. Got that? You understand? It's called expedience. So expedience means that you sometimes choose to create karmas, and sometimes you choose not to create karmas. And that's wisdom. Please, please, please. You're creating too many good karmas. Go forest.
Hello. So this was a comment from earlier. I was going to answer that you create no karma by not thinking. And I think, Master, your explanation reminds me the similar explanation about thinking. Like you can choose no thoughts, but bodhisattvas sometimes choose thinking to relate to people.
Absolutely. Because if you're empty, how can these confused people connect with you? You cannot connect with emptiness. Can you relate to empty space? That's the nature of the bodhisattva. They can be empty. Okay? Nothing sticks to them. Then how can you possibly connect with them? How can they possibly teach you or help you? And that's why they, even though they can create no karmas, they choose to create karmas. And that's why in enlightenment, this is the difference. Low level, they're afraid to create karma still. High level, they're no longer afraid to create karmas. My master taught my generation this level here where we are afraid to create karmas. We judge people who create karmas. He hasn't taught my generation about this level where we choose to create karmas. This is called the me, the way. We don't create karmas or we create karmas. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we do. Yes, Korean person.
Master, I have a question. Master always keeps saying creating marriage. So is this the same as creating good karma or a totally different concept?
Creating what?
Marriage. Marriage.
Marriage? Creating marriage? Okay, Brady, help me out. Creating marriage. 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 Matrimony. Thank you. Okay. So what does it mean? Is that what you're asking? Is that creating karmas?
No, creating good karma is same as creating good karma.
Yeah, absolutely. You, in order for you to cultivate and see good results, you need to create great merit. And that includes bodhisattvas. Again, my master taught them this much only. Create good merit. He hasn't taught them about creating bad merit. Excuse me. Okay. So far, so good. I still have a few more minutes, if you will. 2 more minutes, exactly. Okay. So let me wrap up this slide. It has taken 2 hours now. You guys are too much. So, they can proficiently enter infinite realms, meaning that you see the kinds of wisdom they have. They go to Korea, they don't create karmas when they were served pizza with honey. Okay? They go to Vietnam, they don't create karmas when they give in pho with MSG. Okay? So, you see, and that's part of their wisdom. Infinite realms, meaning they can handle infinite conditions. Koreans, Vietnamese, Taiwanese, Sri Lankans, Russians, Texans, South Carolina. Okay? You see how all-encompassing the wisdom is. That's what is meant by infinite realm. They don't just say, I'm Korean only. I only save Koreans. I only save Americans. I only save Vietnamese. I only save Chiu Chow people. Okay? That's not Mahayana. I insist that you have to remember. Buddhism is not Vietnamese, it's not Korean, it's not Chinese, it's not American. Buddhism is, there's no word for it. It's everything. Don't be so small-minded. Say, I'm American, I'm Korean. Is that clear? You Koreans are going back to your own country very soon. Be less Korean. Bring that back with you. You came to America. You're more American now. That's wisdom. Okay? All right. Thank you, thank you. You're so special. Okay, too much joking, horsing around, folks. That's the end for today. Thank you all for coming. Next time we do 47. Can you imagine 2 hours, 2 slides, the same slides actually? Yes, no hope to finish this sutra.